Would you rather, and I didn't say this is for reparations, I just brought up an example. I did a poll and I said, would you rather have, if you had a choice, would you take a free college education with a $100,000 value or $25,000 up front? 2/3 of the voters, and this was like thousands of votes, said $25,000 up front. Okay? You take an average 18-year-old of any race, black, white, Asian, I don't give a shit, and you give that 18-year-old $25,000. I don't care who you are or where you came from. You'll probably go buy a car. You'll probably go to the mall, buy some clothes. If there's some girl that you were eyeing, you'd probably spend it on her. A few months in, that money's going to be gone. $25,000.
$25,000?
Yeah.
A few months? It could be less than that.
A few weeks. Easy.
I know a motherfucker that could spend, I mean,
some
people
people
can spend that in a day.
In a day, exactly.
Yeah, easily.
$25,000 will not help you. You ask most educated people, most successful people, will they take $25,000 or a free college education? And they'll all say a free college education. Every last one of them.
They say that again?
You ask a successful, and or educated person, which one they would take, they would all say $100,000 free college education. All of them would say that. But
maybe
most people would take $25,000 up front. So I'm just saying,
because somebody that's successful might take the $25,000 and invest it and make
no.
it flip
What I'm saying, but if you
told Jason Weaver and all that type of shit,
right?
So
right,
knock it off.
So, but what I'm saying is that a chunk, unless you're talking about millions of dollars, anything that's like 5 digits.
Well, it should be millions of dollars.
It should be.
If it was a monetary thing, well, like I said, from the horrors that were suffered, each individual should be looking at.
Oh, I feel you.
A few million.
Right, but no one has ever gotten millions of dollars, and a group of people have never gotten millions of dollars where every individual
and never before has anything happened like this to
that.
people.
I feel you. Yeah. I mean.
Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say before we move on from this topic. Okay, so y'all was talking about Tone Talks. I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway.
Dane Calloway?
Look into Dane Calloway, okay? Because Dane Calloway, he has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse, okay? Where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here, and then brought over here, and then brought over to Africa, and motherfuckers. And then some of them was brought over here. Now, I say this to say, right now, reparations is what is, in negotiating terms, called pie in the sky. Okay?
Right.
Pie in the sky is something that you offer in a negotiation that's not real. It's something that comes down the road, maybe. Okay? Whenever you're dealing in negotiations, you never settle on pie in the sky. You never... say, all right, I'll take this much now, and maybe in the future you're going to give me this. No, that's some bullshit negotiation. If anybody offers you pie in the sky, it's a bullshit. Now, what I'm saying is, by us not understanding that we actually are, that a lot of us were already here, we're missing out on money that already exists, that is only going to so-called Native Americans that have a certain mongoloid phenotype, okay? But not the Native Americans that look like me or that look like a lot of our so-called brothers and sisters. So here we are fighting over something that doesn't even exist. Reparations for so-called descendants of slaves doesn't even exist. It's just a concept, and look at how y'all fighting over it. Yet, there's money that does exist right now, but because you don't know who the fuck you are, you're not even talking about that. So let that shit sink in.
Let that sink in. Yeah, man. And the people that have historically fought for reparations, like Reverend Mark Thompson and Danny Glover and so forth, get attacked by ADOS. You see what I'm saying? Like, what type of weird, divisive shit? you're spending most of your attacks against the people who are for the thing you're claiming to be.
And like I said before, we all suffering from racism in America. I mean, maybe if you could prove that you was a descendant of slaves, maybe you'd get a little more, but don't tell me because I'm from the Caribbean and came to America in the 50s that I didn't go through redlining and fucking, police brutality and all kind of shit, forced it together, all kind of shit that motherfuckers go through. Being black in this country, they're not stopped. The police, when they kill black people, they're not asking who's ADOS.
Right.
They're not asking who's Muslim, Christian, none of that.
Yeah.
You black, I'm going to be more apt to shoot your motherfucking ass than I am of a white man. And